Dear students, welcome to the session of 3D geometry. So all of you have a clear idea about the two-dimensional geometry. So we discussed in two-dimensional geometry, we have discussed x-axis, y-axis and coordinates of the point and applications on it. So here we are introducing another axis which is perpendicular to both the axis x and y axis, that is called z-axis, that is perpendicular to the x, y axis. So here these are the three axes mutually perpendicular. They are intersecting and okay. So this is very important. In IIT JEE point of view also this chapter is very important, and at the same time when compared with other topics it is very easy. In day-to-day life also it is very useful. With the help of this, so many things, these uses are extended to every field, not only in mathematics, in physics, chemistry, in so many areas. It is very useful in general life also. So with the help of this only we form maps, 3D maps, and at the same time all of you know about GPS, that the total works depends upon 3G. Okay, this chapter is very important. Okay, right. Now in this session we will learn about the coordinate axis, coordinate planes, coordinates of the point. Okay, so what about the axis? Here xo(x dash, yo(y dash and zo(z dash) are three mutually perpendicular. Already we discussed x-axis and y-axis about. X and y-axis are two perpendicular lines, z-axis is the axis which is perpendicular to both the lines. These three are intersecting at O. Here O is called origin. Here two axes together form a plane. Here x-axis and y-axis describe a plane, that is called xy plane. Similarly y-z plane and zx plane also. Okay, generally XOY plane simply is called XY plane, YZ plane, XZ plane. Okay, here there are three planes with the help of these axes. The plane determined by the x and y axis is called XOY plane, simply it is called XY plane. Similarly, YZ and ZX plane is also there. So just to see the second figure. Here, these are the axes. X-axis, y-axis and z-axis. X-axis, y-axis and z-axis are there. Just see this figure. These three lines are intersecting at O. Just observe these two figures. In both the figures, just there are three axes. Those are mutually perpendicular. Just on the paper or pen or board, we can draw just two lines, perpendicular lines. In third line point of view, we can have to imagine it. That is the line which is perpendicular to these two axes. That means that is perpendicular to the plane where the two axes x and y contain. Okay, just observe this. So already we discussed about the coordinate planes xy, yz, zx. Those planes are mutually perpendicular. Those planes divides xy plane, yz plane, zx plane divides the whole the plane into 8 parts, 8 equal parts. You can see this figure. In this figure, just observe that x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. The base plane xy, it is called xy plane, and the plane formed by y-axis and z-axis is called yz plane, and x-axis and y-axis, that is called xy plane. These three planes dividing the whole space into 8 parts. The upper 4 parts are there and downwards there are 4 parts. Understand? So the xy plane dividing two parts, upper part and lower part. In upper part there are 4 parts. In lower part there are 4 parts. Total parts are 8. These are called arctants. Okay, arctants. Just see this figure. Here also you can see with the help of this figure also we will get clear idea how the arctants formed with planes. And see this figure. With this figure, with the help of this, we can define the signs of the axis. Here, in every axis point of view, positive x-axis, negative x-axis. One side y-axis is called positive x-axis, y-axis is called negative x-axis. Similarly, in case of three axes, positive and negative are there. So how can you give the signs with respect to the nature of the axis? If the x-axis is there, positive x-axis, positive arctant, like that. Just see with the help of these three figures, you will get clear idea about the arctants. And at the same time, with this help of this figure, So we can decide the signs with respect to the axis. If suppose yx positive x-axis, oy positive x-axis, yx, oz positive z-axis, the octant found by these three axes, the positive axis, with the help of positive x-axis and positive x, that is called positive plane, xy plane, coordinate planes. With the help of these positive three axes, there exists a octant that is called first octant. Here see, this is the first octant. Like that, we can give the names for the octants also. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. In bottom also there are 4 octants. Understand? So this is the way how to form the octants with the help of the coordinate planes. See this figure. Here the green shaded part is a plane and blue shaded part is another plane, red shaded part is another plane. These plane dividing the whole space into 8 parts. Those are called octant. Green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red. Just we can find out 8 parts on this figure. So those are called octants. Okay, right. See this concept. This is very important. The coordinates of the point. We have to find out the coordinates of the point. Already we discussed about the coordinates of point in the two-dimensional geometry. Here this is a different case. So for that, just take PB any point in the space. Here you have to draw the 3 planes which are passing through P and parallel to coordinate planes. They intersect the x at some points. The distance from origin to that points are called coordinates of the points. If the length on x-axis, length on y-axis, length on z-axis are called x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate respectively. See this figure. P is a point in a space. X-axis, y-axis, z-axis, the coordinate axis. Understand? Right. So here observe that. Draw a plane which is passing through P and parallel to coordinate plane. Just observe that. This here observe this. A plane passing through P and parallel to the coordinate plane xz intersecting the y-axis at Py. Observe the figure. Here the plane passing through P and parallel to the xz plane, coordinate plane, intersecting the y-axis at Py. The length from origin to Py is called y coordinate. If you draw a plane passing through P and parallel to yz, it intersects the x-axis at Px. The length from O to Px is nothing but x coordinate. And similarly, draw a plane which is passing through P and parallel to xy plane that intersect the z-axis at Pz. The distance from O to Pz is called z coordinate. Here let us take, so the distance from O to Px is nothing but x. This is called x coordinate. The distance from O to Py, this is nothing but y. This is called y coordinate. So distance from P to Z, simply let it be z. This is called z coordinate. These are the real numbers. The order tied up 3 real numbers x, y, z are called coordinates of the point P. These are the 3 real numbers. This represents the length covered by point P on x, y, z axis respectively. So for clarity, see this figure. So P be the position of a point in the space. Just draw the perpendicular to the base plane. Here the xy plane is the base plane. So the foot of the perpendicular P is D. Just draw the perpendicular from D to both the axis, x axis and y axis. So this foot of the perpendicular D on x axis is M. The length from O to M is called x coordinate. Foot of the perpendicular D on y axis is L. The distance from O to L is called y coordinate. Here dp is parallel to z axis. So this length dp is nothing but z coordinate. Understand? In case of this figure, the coordinates of the points are like this. So x coordinate is OM, the length of OM. Y coordinate is length of OL. And z coordinate is nothing but PD length. These are the coordinates of the point P with respect to this figure. This is the way how to find the coordinates of the point. Here you observe that if you take x-axis, y-axis, z-axis are positive axis, in case of this, here we will get positive coordinates only. That depends upon the symbol of the axis. If the x-axis, participate x-axis is negative, we will take the x coordinate negative for x coordinate. Okay, so if you have clear idea about the next part, octants, then we will get clear idea about the signs of the function with respect to the octants. This is what about the coordinates of the point. Now tell me, what are the coordinates of the origin? So the coordinates of the origin, we can't draw any planes other than planes which are passing through origin and parallel to coordinate planes. So the coordinates of the origin are 0, 0, 0. In two dimensions also 0, 0. So general point, coordinates of point, general point on the x-axis. On x-axis, y and z coordinate 0. So any point on the x-axis in the form of any point on the x-axis is in the form of x comma 0, 0. This is the x coordinate. What would be the real number in place of x? So, but y and z should be zeros on x-axis. So, similarly on y-axis, the x coordinate and z coordinate 0, 0, 0, y, 0. On z-axis, 0, 0, z. These are the forms, general forms, standard forms on the axis respectively. Understand? So here, how can you give the symbol? It depends upon the sign of the x-axis. If this point lies on the positive x-axis, this x coordinate is positive. If it lies on the negative x-axis, it is negative. The signs, symbols of the coordinates depends upon the symbol of the x-axis and y-axis and z-axis. Okay, next we will discuss about the distance of the point, distance between the 2 points. That is very, very important. Now see this formula. The distance between the 2 points, x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2. All of you know about the distance between the 2 points in 2-dimensional geometry. That is root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Just observe these terms. Up to this part we know the formula in 2-dimensional geometry. Just we have to add this one also. Here we will get a z2 minus z1 whole square. That is the extra term. That's it. This is the formula to find the distance between 2 points. This proof is not important for that. Okay. So suppose how can you find the distance from origin to the point? Let us take, let p x comma y be any x y z be any point in the space. What is the distance from origin to the point? Let O be the origin, then the distance from origin to the point P is equal to root of x minus 0 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square plus z minus 0 whole square. It is equal to root of x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, so next one is very important. What is the distance from point to the x-axis? Just draw the figure. Suppose these are the two axes. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Suppose this is the position of the z-axis. Z-axis. So this is the point P. This is, suppose this is the location of the point P. X, Y, Z be any point in the space. I want to find the distance from point P to x-axis. Just to draw the perpendicular from P to x-axis. Let it be some L. Here we have to find out the distance. So what about the coordinates of the point L? This is a point on x-axis. The length from this is nothing but x coordinate. This length is nothing but x coordinate. On x-axis y and z coordinate 0. Now the coordinates of L is equal to x comma 0, 0. Now these are the coordinates of this point. These are the coordinates of this point. Here the distance from P to x-axis nothing but PL. So the distance from Px comma y comma z to x-axis, the distance from point P x y z to x-axis is nothing but PL is nothing but x minus x whole square plus y minus 0 whole square plus z minus 0 whole square. That is equal to root of y square plus z square. This is the distance from P to x-axis. This is the formula. Root of y square plus z square. There is no x term. The distance from point P x comma y comma z to x-axis nothing but root of y square plus z square. There is no x term. Similarly, what about the distance from point? Distances from P x y z to first one to y axis is root of x square plus z square. Similarly, the distance from point P to z axis is root of z axis. So just write down in terms of x and y, that's it. These are the three formulas for find the distance from point P to the coordinate axis. Distance from P to x axis, distance from P to y axis, distance from P to z axis. Okay, with the help of this formula, we can solve the problem. If suppose, just write down the problem. Find the distance between the 2 points. Just take that A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to minus 2, 3, 1 is there. So these are the 2 points in the space. So how can you find the distance between AB? The distance between AB is equal to, write down the formula. What is the formula? x2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. All of you know about the distance. How can you find the distance in 2 dimensions? Just we are using extra term, that's it. x2 minus x1 whole square, minus 2 minus 1 whole square, 3 minus 2 whole square plus 1 minus 3 whole square. Just formula practice point of view, we are doing this problem. So minus 2 minus 1, minus 3 whole square 9, 3 minus 2 whole square 1, 1 minus 3 minus 2 whole square 4. This is equal to root 14. This is the how to find the distance between the 2 points. See this problem, just applications for distance formula, that's it. So before going to that, what is the collinearity? Already we discussed in 2 dimensions, same meaning. 3 or more points, if 3 or more points lies on a line, you can say that the 2 points are collinear. 3 or more points lies on any line, then you can say that those points are collinear. So first one, show that the points, those 3 are collinear. So collinear means how can you prove? Collinear means you have to show that these 3 points lies on a line. If suppose this is the position of a line, we have to prove that these are the positions of AB. Whatever the order, that is not important. We have to prove that these 3 points lies on the line. With the help of distance formula, just find out 3 possible link distances, AB, BC, AC. Sum of any 2 is equal to third one. We can say that these are collinear. That is possible for collinearity only, if they are collinear. Okay, so let us take the given points be some A, B, C. Okay, so first one, solution for first one. Let us take A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to 7, 0, 1 and C is equal to minus 2, 3 and 4. We don't know exact positions of the line on points on the line. Just find out the distances. So the distance of AB, distance between A and B, that means AB, is equal to square root of the distance between AB, x2 minus x1, 7 minus 1 whole square plus 0 minus 2 whole square plus 1 minus 3 whole square. So what about the result? 7 minus whole square, 6 square, 36, minus 2 whole square plus 4 and 1 minus 3 minus 2 whole square again 4, 44. So the length of AB is equal to root 44, first length. Just find out the length of BC. So BC is equal to, so B and C, x2 minus x1 whole square, that means minus 2 minus 7 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, 3 minus 0 whole square plus 4 minus 1 whole square. So what about the length of this? Here square root of minus 2 minus 9 minus 7 minus 9 whole square 81, 3 square 9, 4 minus 1 whole square 9, 99. So root 99. So here we can write 3 root 11. Here we can write 2 root 11. The length of AB is equal to 2 root 11. Length of BC is equal to 3 root 11. So find out the remaining length. What about the remaining one? So next AC. The length of AC is equal to AC x2 minus x1 minus 2 minus 1 whole square plus 3 minus 2 whole square plus 4 minus 3 whole square. Therefore, this is equal to minus 3 whole square 9, 1, 1, that is equal to root 11. So AC length is equal to root 11. Observe that AC is equal to root 11, BC equal to 3 root 11 and AB is equal to 2 root 11. So sum of these two is equal to this one. Therefore, from these three lengths we can write BC is equal to AB plus AC. BC is equal to AB plus AC. Just write down the positions. Change the position B, A. Here BC length is equal to 3 root 11 and AC length is equal to root 11 and this is 2 root 11. This relation is possible only when the 3 points are lie on a line. Otherwise it is not possible. So this is how to prove the given points are collinear. Already we discussed in 2-dimensional geometry. Same way. Okay, next see the second problem. What about the second problem? Show that these 3 points forms a right angle isosceles. We know right angle property, Pythagoras formula. Isosceles means two sides are equal. Just here also just find out the lengths. With the help of the lengths we can find out the nature of the triangle. If it satisfies Pythagoras formula, we can say that is a right angle triangle. In those right angle triangle, if the two sides are equal, we can say that is also isosceles. So we can say isosceles right angle. Just find out the three lengths. So here, what about A? Let us take A is equal to 2, 3, 5 and B is equal to 4 minus 3, 2 and sorry minus 1. B is equal to minus 1, 5 minus 1 and C is equal to whatever called 4 minus 3, 2. 4 minus 3, 2. These are the coordinates of 3 points. Just find out these three lengths AB, BC, CA. So what about AB? AB 2 minus half minus 1. 2 plus 1 whole square. 3 minus 5 whole square. And 5 plus 1 whole square. This is nothing but 2 plus 1 whole square 9. 3 minus 5 whole square 4. 5 plus 1 36. So 36 plus 4, 40, 49, that is equal to 7. The length of AB is equal to 7. So similarly find out BC and CA. BC nothing but 4 minus half minus 1, 4 plus 1 whole square, minus 3 minus 5, minus 3 minus 5 whole square, 2 minus half minus 1, 2 plus 1 whole square. This is equal to 4 plus 1, 5 square, 25. Minus 3 minus 5, minus 8 whole square, 64 and 2 plus 1 whole square, 9. Here 64 plus 9 plus 25. So just simplify it. 60, 70, 89. So 98. 64, 25. 89. 18 plus 9. 98. Root 98. Understand? We can write this is equal to 7 root 2. 49 into 2. So the length of BC is equal to 7 root 2. So AB is equal to 7 and find out the length of AC. What about the AC? X2 minus x1 whole square, 4 minus 2 whole square plus minus 3 minus 3. Minus 3 minus 3 whole square plus 2 minus 5 whole square. So this is equal to 4 minus 6 whole square 36, and 2 minus 5 minus 3 whole square 9. So this is equal to 49 7. Okay, so AC is equal to 7, BC equal to 7 root 2, and AB is equal to 7. What will happen? BC square equal to 98. AC square plus AB square is equal to 49 plus 49, that is equal to 98. So BC square equal to AC square plus AB square. BC square is equal to AC square plus AB square, and AC is equal to AB. So these two sides are equal, AC equal to AB, and this satisfying the Pythagoras formula. So the figure formed by these 3 points is a right angle isosceles. This shows triangle is a right angle triangle, this shows isosceles triangle. So with the help of these two, we can say the given triangle is right angle isosceles right angle at A. Find x if the distance between the 2 points is 9 units. This is very important for 2 marks point of view in board exam. Okay, just write down. The given point be let A is equal to 5 minus 1 7, and let us take another point be B, x 5 and 1. So given that the distance between AB is equal to 9 units, find out the distance between them and equate to 9, then we will get x value. Okay, so distance between the 2 points AB is equal to x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square is equal to 9. So square root of x minus 5 whole square plus 36 plus 1 minus 7 minus 6 whole square 36 is equal to 9. So squaring on both sides, we will get x minus 5 whole square plus 72 is equal to 81. X minus 5 whole square is equal to 81 minus 72. X minus 5 whole square is equal to 81 minus 72, 9. So from this we can write x minus 5 equal to plus or minus 3. Therefore x is equal to 5 plus or minus 3. Case 1, case 2. Here case 1 x is equal to 5 plus 3, and case 2 x is equal to 5 minus 3. Therefore from this we will get x equal to A, and here x is equal to 2. So if x is equal to 8 or x equal to, we will get AB length is equal to 9 units. This is how to find the x value in case of the AB length is equal to 9 units. Okay. This is how to find the x value in case of the AB length is equal to 9 units. Okay, right. See, this concept is very familiar to you in 2-dimensional geometry. Just here we are getting extra term z coordinate, that's it. The coordinates of point which divides the line segment joining x1 y1 z1 and x2 y2 z2 in the ratio m is to n internally is mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n and my2 plus n1 by m plus n, mz2 plus ny1 z1 by m plus n. These are the coordinates of the point. All of you know about this. If suppose if the point divides the external in the same ratio, what will happen? Just replace plus by minus. These are the coordinates of the point in case of external division. If in the ratio m is to n externally, what will happen? You will get like this: mx2 minus nx1 by m minus n, my2 minus ny1 by m minus n, and mz2 minus nz1 by m minus n. These are the coordinates of point in case of the external division. Okay. Now, here we have to find out the ratio in which the xy plane divides the line segment. Here, suppose these are the positions of the 2 points A and B. Ax1, y1, z1 and bx2, y2, z2. So this is the position of the plane which divides the line segment AB internally in the ratio m is to n. Here we have to find out the ratio in case of xy plane. So on xy plane, all of you know the z coordinate is 0. So just apply z coordinate 0 property for this coordinate. On xy plane, z coordinate equal to 0. Therefore, what about the z coordinate? mz2 plus nz1 by m plus n is equal to 0. From this, mz2 plus nz1 is equal to 0. From this, m by n is equal to minus z1 by z2. This is the way how to find the ratio in case of the plane divides the line segment. Here xy plane minus z1 by z2. Similarly, what about the remaining planes? If suppose in case of yz plane, what is the ratio? Here the ratio yz plane minus x1 is to x2. So in case of third one, zx plane, so xy, yz, zx plane. In case of zx plane, minus y1 is to y2, and xy plane minus z1 is to z2. These are the ratios in case of the planes divide the line segment. Okay, right.